SummerDinnerSeries.com.
SummerDinnerSeries.com.
SummerDinnerSeries.com. That's right. That's where you want to go. Welcome. It is a Thursday, and it's July 9th as we get going again. Never enough hours in a day, and we just try and get on by 2 o'clock or somewhere right around there. So it's 2:02 in the Mile High City. Whoop, just 2:03 right now. Myself, Greg Hollenbach, Brian Freeman. How you doing today?
I am stoked to be here. Beautiful outside.
It's a good
beautiful
day.
inside.
Jay Parker, what's happening?
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Keep your mic on. Keep going. What's wrong?
Nothing. I just sometimes breathe and cough and things like that, so I'll keep it on.
Well, we all breathe.
Well,
and we all cough.
I'm a heavy breather.
You're a heavy breather. We got a big show for you. Trevor Morones is going to join us here momentarily, and we'll tell you about Trevor. Actually, just literally a 5-minute ago find. A 5-minute ago find. And we're going to talk about an interesting thing that I came across as a share. As you know, we've talked about the ACF in the past, and the ACF National, the local Chefs Association, American Culinary Federation, right? ACF, that's what it stands for. The local chapter is the Colorado Chefs Association. They also have a chapter down south, which we saw them a couple of weeks ago, Brian, and that's the ACF Pikes Peak chapter, correct?
Yep.
So ACF Pikes Peak chapter on Facebook shared a very interesting post, and I'm going to try and find this post as we get it going, but on themoderneater.com, I have the links to that, and I'm trying to get those links up for you so that you can follow along with it. It's a cooking certificate through the ACF, certification through the ACF is what they say, that will be a certification class of cooking with marijuana. Find it to be very interesting because on a federal level, here is a national trade organization, right? On a national level or on a federal level, marijuana is still illegal, right?
Yep.
So it's a very interesting thing offering a certification class for that. We're going to dig in, and then as an aside, because he has zero affiliation with the ACF, Trevor Morones, but a very cool find, and we're going to talk to him because of his culinary background and also his present relationship with cooking with marijuana and what that looks like. So we're going to get to Trevor in a minute. Announcement time. We have something to tell you, and you can only just get ahead of this type of thing. As you know, we are going into week 2 of the Summer Dinner Series. Very much so looking forward to it.
Big deal. Big deal.
People are just chomping at the bit and can't wait to get into the Troy Guard dinner, which is scheduled for the 14th. That's this coming Tuesday, right? Change of plans. This is life, and this is what happens. We are postponing Chef Troy Guard's dinner until September 1st. He's going to be the last chef of the Summer Dinner Series. Why, you may ask?
And people should listen because this is important, and it's about what we're dealing with in life and community right now.
We had a request, and the request is Greg, and I'll just read you the email, and it's a text. It's a text that we had. And he said, Greg, unfortunately, I will miss this dinner. I will call you shortly. I'm very sorry. I'm juggling a lot this summer, and this was the only week to get out. Chef's getting out of town with his daughter, Grace. Perfectly reasonable. He needs it for himself. This was the only opportunity with all the madness. We thought we could be those people to be very understanding because all it is putting it into a date in September. And, hey, listen, Chef Troy Guard rested and ready is better than a Chef Troy Guard rushed and not ready.
And stressed.
And stressed. So that's the announcement. Chef Troy Guard's dinner is postponed until September 1st. Bear with us because it's going to be a lovely time. You're going to love it. But that's it. If you are hearing this and you've purchased tickets, I apologize that you're hearing it from the stream. But I am reaching out to each and every one of you via email to say, hey, would you like to keep your tickets? Because all bets are off if this dinner will sell out, regardless of you're there or not. Would you like to keep your tickets or happy to issue you a refund?
I think people should
We'll
be
see.
stoked.
We'll
hey,
give you an update on the show tomorrow. I mean, hey, listen, somebody you could say, hey, I'm giving you half the peace sign, and I thought it was this Tuesday. I can't deal with that. Give me my money back. Happy to do it. Very much
We
so
understand.
apologize.
We understand.
Also, other options. We have 7 more dinners to go. That's only 1 out of 7, okay? Or out of 7 more. There's 8 total. You're going to want to go to other dinners. If you want to just transfer your ticket over to another dinner, happy to accommodate, okay? So, just to be clear, this Tuesday the 14th, no dinner. This dinner, Chef Troy Gard, is postponed to when, Jay?
September 1.
The 1st. It
Tuesday.
almost seems like that's the way it should be anyway. Sometimes life works out like that.
Do you want me to give you some silver linings?
Listen, man, there's a lot of silver linings, and and I'll just jump in. This is just real life, man.
Yeah.
I mean, S happens, and you roll with it. And listen, man, I'm thrilled. It gives us an extra week of planning, of lining things up. So,
Well, and I was going to go, for me, where the silver lining is guess what? This changes the season. Troy's going to get to play with some new stuff.
Yeah, he's going
that's going to be different, and that is going to be exciting. I mean, I'll tell you, people should be stoked about that because that later date actually has better product, in my opinion, in Colorado because we'll still have some peaches.
So Troy is, and to you, here's a message he wanted to put to you. Sincerely apologize, and we'll be all set and ready to sell out September 1st. So, Chef, thank you so much. And really, the transparency and the honesty that I need to step away to do this, thank you.
Well, in these times, Greg, doesn't it?
I just feel
yeah,
honored. I mean, I really do. This is one of these days to where we're blessed to be alive. You know why? Because those types of relationships are what get us through. Lemonade, baby, lemonade. You're going to have delicious lemonade to drink on the 1st. All right, you guys need to jump to themoderneater.com. Why, you may ask? Because every day we're going to do a daily blog post. It's going to be the best thing that can possibly be there for you. If I can get this thing to publish and work, which I think I can, you will see a post of today's show with references and links to everybody involved, and you can expect that on a daily basis. That's something that I've been wanting to do for a while. So if we have a video to play, if we have a link to a topic that we'd like to explore with you, that'll be on the summer or on themoderneater.com. And again, I'm trying to get that up so that it's just the first article that's up. So daily blog, if you go to the Modern Eater, you'll see the Modern Eater show. Underneath that drop down is the daily blog. Now, what I want to do, Brian, is I want to go and hit ACF Pikes Peak chapter, and I want to scroll down and do this with everybody else. So I'm on my trusty Facebook right now, heading to the ACF Pikes Peak chapter, and I just want to make sure that I'm not going crazy and that I actually did this post because it really caught me off guard. Now, anymore these days with these types of culinary trade organizations and offering certifications for certain things, that's a tough business to be in right now.
Oh, yeah.
It's a tough business to find relevancy for any of that stuff because you know what? When I went to broadcasting school, it was just that. But when I found out after broadcasting school, it's just go get a job and start emptying trash cans and meet people. Same thing goes with culinary. Get in there. You learn your way up the ropes. Start washing dishes. If you want to get into a kitchen, there are jobs for you. Now, certification classes, and if you're getting into Master Chef and you want to learn temps and everything, then pretty much you can learn everything you want to learn in the kitchen from somebody else, right?
Definitely.
But there are organizations that offer certification. You just saw Johnson & Wales went under here in Denver.
Well, and there was an interesting conversation around that, wasn't it, Greg? Because what does your certification mean from a defunct school?
Yeah, well, what are you getting out of it, and what's it leaving you with? Is it leaving you with debt? So right now, innovation and pivoting is everywhere, and I'm wondering if this is a pivot point. So here it is. I've got it in front of me. Jay, can you jump on my computer screen? Do I still have that up? Okay, Jay's going to put my computer screen up to show you exactly what I'm looking at right now. And what I'm looking at is a shared post from the ACF National that's ACF Pikes Peak chapter. Members and non-members can take this course. So what's the course? The course is, and I'm going to click on this. Did you know that ACF launched a specialized certificate in cooking with cannabis? Certification is available to ACF members and non-members alike. To learn more and sign up for the course, visit, and then there's a link. I'm interested, right?
Yeah.
I'm interested. I want to cook with pot. and I want a certification that says that I've went through all these things. Now, check it out. It's actually pretty cool. And let's do this. Really not a part of the topic, but kind of part of the topic. I want to introduce to the show right now Trevor Morones. And Trevor, welcome to the Modern Eater Show. This is the first time we've met. You kind of know the setup of where I'm going with this. Just follow along with this, and then we'll jump in with you. But I want to say good afternoon to you, Trevor. How are you?
I'm doing very well, and thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure, and just like you said, it was definitely quick, but it worked out. And in this world, we have to be quick on our feet, and things happen, but there's no need to just talk about it. Let's put actions behind these things to really make changes that we want to see.
Done and done. Okay, so I find this interesting. Again, National Trade Organization, and this is just you commenting as Trevor, but I do want to have you set up who you are in your organization, and then let's just get into a friendly topic and talk this through.
Very well. Well, it's very helpful to understand where my career started. And I think that you both touch base on this, the importance of washing dishes. I started my career washing dishes in a very local restaurant for Bowling Green, Kentucky. My first chef, Sasha Mandrapa, still communicate with on a regular basis, really pushed me to go and learn more, strive more. He said, get a backpack, get lost in Europe, and learn that way. Just learn from the trenches. And I decided to go to culinary school in New York. Fast forward a little bit, I started getting into food manufacturing. I had a lot of responsibility, but not a lot of training other than food safety and food service. So food service and food manufacturing, two very different worlds. And moving forward, I got placed in Las Vegas for a project, still going, but I have no association with it anymore. And through this time, I got tasked with writing a very high standard, a third-party scheme under the GFSI, the Global Food Safety Initiative umbrella, specifically for cannabis. And I'm not sure that that particular company followed through with it, which is fine. There are other companies that are doing it and have been approved. And my role in food safety is to educate, to share this, and to share the value that it brings in operation. We want quality, consistency, and we could talk about that all day, but let's put some practices in place that we already have to have in place and make this a less bitter conversation. Food safety is not as dark and scary as everybody has taught. There's a lot of light to it, and it helps when you have that open mind to be quick on your feet. Now, fast forward even more, I get diagnosed with epilepsy. It's just something that I'm going through, but I'm journaling about it every single day. My sleep, my diet, the pharmaceuticals that really don't work for me, and how powerful cannabis is. But it has to be very clean, very safe product. And now we're working with the National Cannabis Industry Association, leading the Cannabis Manufacturing Committee, also sitting as a chair on Policy Council. So we're very, very active, and sometimes people bring their challenges forward. If you came to me and said, I want to cook cannabis and learn all these things, where should I go? Where can I start? I would not have guessed, go see ACF. It's exciting to hear. Not really too familiar with the program itself.
You mind?
But I can take you through
Yeah, let's set this up, and then I just want your first blush, and then we'll dig into more, because I do think on a medicinal level that cannabis really serves a great function. And from what I'm seeing from this specialized certificate is recreation. Cooking with cannabis on a recreation level, which there's a big demand for that as well. Listen, some people want to get a head change and not drink booze and eat the food and enjoy that as well. So this specialized certificate of culinary cannabis and edibles, I'll just read from it. The ACF is the ACF is the nation's leader in offering educational resources, training, certificates, programs to enhance professional growth for all the current and future chefs. ACF recognizes the significant interest in the additional tetrahydrocannabinol, or THC, and the cannabinol, hi Heather, in the food and drink products across the nation. The Food and Drug Administration, FDA, is aware that the use of THC and CBD in food and drink and has held that the use of both compounds in food and drink is illegal. So they're recognizing that this is illegal. Despite that fact, 33 states and District of Columbia has legalized medical marijuana, and 10 of those states, including D.C., have legalized recreational marijuana, resulting in the proliferation of THC and CBD containing in their products. In order to fulfill the gap in regulation, some of the states have begun adopting independent strategies for handling THC and CBD in food and beverages. That is all true. There remains, however, an information gap with respect to food safety and preparation and how it relates to THC and CBD infused products. I think that's all perfectly fine. The specialization certificate in culinary cannabis and edibles demonstrates the applicant's proficiency on the skills, knowledge, and competencies for safety handling culinary cannabis and edibles. This exam was written and reviewed by industry-recognized subject matter experts. Here's what's part of the exam. Plant anatomy, storing and cooking, concentrates and extracts, the terpenes. Is it terpenes?
Terpenes.
Yep, the terpenes. Math and potency and safety. So what I'm seeing here, and listen, I am sure that there are a lot of jobs out there for folks in the business of creating edibles and culinary as well, to have somebody that knows what they're doing. Right? And offer a certification class. When I click on the link for the ACF Online Learning Center to learn more and to see what applicants need to go through, this is where it gets fun. Here's the disclaimer. The exam is solely for educational and general information purposes for culinary professionals and is not intended to provide legal advice to participants. The exam is not intended to be an industry standard or represent ACF's endorsement for any illegal activity. ACF does not promote any illegal use, production, distribution, or marketing of THC, CBD, including in food and drink, which may violate federal and state law, nor does ACF endorse or make any representations regarding the health, nutrition value, or safety regarding the use of THC, CBD, and food products and ingestibles. They basically just said, we're going to show you how to build a bomb.
And take no responsibility.
And take zero responsibility for it. All right, Trevor.
CIA. Cover your arse.
Yes, cover your ass. What are you guys seeing here at first blush? And we'll just go around. Trevor, we'll start with you. I think we all know what time of day it is on this.
Yeah, so I'll just wrap up and say, going forward in my career, I decided to build Control Point, a food safety firm, and we are very active. I am not a chef. I would never say that I was a chef out of respect for my peers that I admire. I am a butcher by trade. And I decided to build this particular firm so we could help educate, and specifically with something like cannabis, we can help people through this journey. They tell us where they want to go, and we are the light and the vessel to take them there. But we're not just standing from the top of the tower to say go left or go right. We're in the trenches. We get dirty. I got a Pelican case full of tools I take with me to almost every single client. And then our team members, they have their tools that they bring as well. Everybody's active. We're about to 10 people total for all of Control Point. Now, to answer your question about what the ACF has put forward, they have to put those things in there because they really need people to understand. Unfortunately, not everybody's going to read that, but that's okay. It's going to be part of the starting point where we're talking about what is truly legal versus what is not. And through this educational process, the foundation of this is like, well, the botany of the plants and the biology, that is some fascinating stuff. So I think everybody will really appreciate that, and it will take them back to the classes that they have probably taken in school. And that's going to help set the tone for the next step going forward, etc. Now, we are pushing and we want to see federalization, but one step and foot in front of the other. We don't just start running and then hope for the best. We have teams that are taking this journey with us.
So the good stuff is first of all, I think businesses are very interesting. Pivoting, relevancy, Brian, I'm sure you have an opinion on this. I can't help but think to putting this out there right now in the hands of chefs, into their mainstream of chefs for their offering. I'm sure they've got a huge mailing list, that I can't help but wonder, is something else not working if you need to do this?
Well, there's part of me that says give people as many tools as you can. Give them every tool in the toolbox and let them go for things. But then there's a part of me that says at a certain time and age and stage of your career, are you prepared to get all these shiny objects thrown in front of you? That's where I would be a little concerned because, listen, we know where the hemp has gone in Colorado. Every farmer went out and started growing hemp. Right now, lots of farmers are going bankrupt because hemp's not working. And they can't get the money for it. They don't understand it. They jumped into something because they saw a shiny object. Is this one of those things? Maybe, maybe not. But yeah, I think this is an interesting conversation.
Yeah, and I want to continue it. How's your time? Can we take a pause, come right back, play a couple of our sponsors, and resume this conversation with you?
Right on.
Okay, fantastic.
I don't know if you're asking me, but I'm giving you thumbs up. Do what you got to do.
Thanks, Trevor. And also, we're going to, in the next segment, hear from Chef Troy Gard. He is going to join the show himself. I just got a text from him. He said he can do right now. So we'll push everything aside. Trevor's going to stay on hold. We'll get Chef Troy Gard up for a couple of minutes here, and then in the end of this hour, will be Ryan Evans from Brews Beers, and we'll also talk to Dr. Sarah Metz today. It's been a while.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we'll pause, come right back. The Modern Eater Show continues.
Hey guys, Chris Johnson here, owner of Rome Sausage, your hyper-local source for all things sausage awesomeness. My family is proud to carry on the fine traditions of Rome's founder, Jerry Rome, by producing a variety of amazing sausage in small batches with an eye on quality, not quantity. Every batch is made here in the great state of Colorado by hand mixing spices, utilizing lean cuts of pork to make an outstanding product. Sourcing ingredients and materials locally, we are committed to supporting local vendors, chefs, restaurants, and the entire Colorado food scene. Getting hungry yet? Brats, Italian, breakfast, hot Polish, green chili, chicken apple, and the world's best chorizo. You can source all of our sausage through a variety of food service distributors. If your distributor doesn't carry it, call us. We'll come direct. You want a custom item? We'll do that too. Samples, and of course, sausage jokes, can be had by contacting me directly at chris@romesausage.com or by phone at 303-296-7663. The Modern Eater loves Rome Sausage, and I know you will too.
Hey, Zach Ryder here, Colorado Mills Sunflower Products out of Lamar, Colorado. Your only local source, grown from a local crop to produce a local oil for local chefs. You can find it at Shamrock Foods, What Chefs Want, Seattle Fish Company. Let me try it one more time, then we'll see. Hey, restaurants, we're glad you're reopening. From Colorado Mills Sunflower Oil, we'll see you soon.
First, we partner with the best farmers in the world, and then we tell them, we will take it all. Process whole spices daily, blend custom spices to order, keep it fresh, safe, and flavorful, all so that you can get back to doing what you do best. So whether you're a restaurant, a food manufacturer, or an at-home cook, be sure to visit The Spice Guy at www.thespiceguyco.com.
Hey guys, with Modern Eater, this is Rich O'Brien with Elevation Food Service Reps. I'm here with one of ourselves, a newly appointed hospitality specialist, Kalina Hilliard, and we're here in our showroom, and we've got our bar set up, we've got a lot of chai. Come see us, come see what we've got, and Kalina can help you guys out in the world of hospitality with anything. Take a little journey into the 38th Avenue kitchen just to see what's going on in here. And as I come in here, I'm noticing, Howard, what are you doing? Nothing. Show me, what are you doing? Nothing. Nothing? Look at this beautiful equipment in here. Look at this beautiful. Chefs, restaurateurs, anybody that has anything to do with food service, come on over. We'd love to help you with menu development, love to show you everything about equipment. And maybe we'll even have a few pops.
Hi.
Okay, we continue the Modern Eater Show. Good one for you today, and thank you for joining us. It is a Wednesday, July the 8th, as we continue. SummerDinnerSeries.com is where we can invite you to dinner all summer long, and we've got a good one for you. We're told you about a little bit of a schedule change, and this is a good one because, man, are you in for a treat. It's postponed until September 1st, and that's a Tuesday, of course. It'll close up the season for the Summer Dinner Series, and we're actually really looking forward to this one being postponed because why, Brian?
Because he's going to get a whole new list of items to play with. That's for sure. Mother Nature is going to give him something new to play with. That's cool.
All right, we will resume our conversation with Trevor Morones as we talk about the ACF National putting out a certificate for a certification class of cooking with marijuana and extracts, which I think is very interesting. Is the ACF grasping at straws by putting together a class on a national level when on a federal level marijuana is still illegal? We read their disclaimers. It's a really interesting thing. We'll continue that conversation with Trevor in a moment. But in the meantime, we take a pause and we go to Chef Troy Gard. How are you, Chef? You're in your office working hard as always, right?
What's up, guys? Yeah, I was just checking on a couple of the restaurants, Tag, Garden Grace, and Los Chingones Rhino, and I'm about to head out to Stapleton, and I've got a cooking Zoom show for National Jewish Health tonight.
Would you mind taking a second to talk about what that's going to be and what people can expect tonight, Chef?
Yeah, I don't know how many people are on there. I think there's going to be over 200 people.
Wow.
They said on the class. They're going to be asking me questions. They're setting up at my house right now. I'm going to have my wife and kids involved in it, too. It's more of a family cooking one. And then the next one's going to be at Garden Grace, and the third one's going to be at F&G. But, it's just to raise money for the children at the National Jewish Foundation and to help out as much as we can.
That's fantastic. If there's an opportunity for folks to join that, is there a website that we can put people to or put a link into our stream now? And if not, we can research it and find that for you, Chef. Yeah, let us do that.
I don't know it off the top of my head. Darn it.
We got you, man.
I should know it.
I can find that in just a minute. Okay,
okay, cool. Thanks.
No sweat. The news came down, and we wanted to get with you and thank you, Chef, and absolutely the transparency and the love and the honesty of like, hey, listen, Greg, I got to take this moment to get out of town with my daughter, Grace. I'll let you talk about it, and then we'll talk about looking forward to the future.
So, yeah, sorry we had to postpone our cooking dinner with you guys, and I wanted to really do it. And so that's why we came up with the September 1st. So we're going to close out the whole chef series with you and use, obviously, all the great local ingredients. And September is actually even better. So I got lucked out there. And, I try to, probably sometimes take on too much that I can handle. And I was trying to move around some schedules and some dates, and it just unfortunately didn't work. But thanks for being so open and acceptable for putting me out in September.
Oh, are you kidding, man? I was telling Brian Freeman when we started the show, I said, hey, listen, I want a relaxed and ready Troy Gard, just full on pumping, instead of a rushed and kind of like, here it is, it's Tuesday, it's hot, And so thank you for allowing that just communication to flow. I think it's brilliant.
Totally. We're going to keep the same menu, too, because it's kick-ass and it's going to be awesome. We're just going to push it out a month and a half.
So the folks that have tickets, I will be reaching out to each and every one of you today to say, hey, listen, does this date work for you, September 1st? It just rings good, and people are going to have enough notice. If not, we're going to give you your money back, and hopefully you can join us for another dinner. But thought it was important. I know.
Yeah, give them their money back, but anyone who stays on and comes to September 1st, I'm going to throw in a $25 gift card to Tag Restaurant Group for each person that keeps their tickets with you, Greg, and transfers from the July date to September date. So you let me know who that is, and I'll bring him on September.
Oh, no, you're not. That's amazing.
That is super cool, Chef.
Chef,
thank you.
Listen, your day is packed, and I'm looking forward to tonight. I will be tuned in watching, and just to see you cook is fantastic. I know others are looking forward to doing that. It's a date. We'll see you on September 1st. In the meantime, enjoy your summer, and I'm sure we'll be talking early and often.
Awesome, guys. You have a good one, and thanks for rolling with the punches, and we'll catch you soon. What kind of music you got on there today, Greg? You got some White Snake, or what do you got?
Oh man, actually, and I'm going to geek out on this, but for Tuesday night, and I'll save it for the first, I put together a playlist just for you, and we're well, you know, me and you grew up in the same rock and roll era, and I'm going to take you back to some songs, and I'm going to see if I can stump you, which I don't think I can, but there'll be a little bit of music trivia during Chef's Dinner on September 1st.
I'm going to bring my game cards for you, too, then. I got some really cool game cards about music for the 80s and 70s genre. It's kind of fun.
Rock and roll, man. We'll see you soon, Chef.
Okay, well, take care, guys. Thanks for having me on, as always.
Absolutely. Chef Troy Gard. Okay, cool. There it is.
I got to say, it takes a big man to stand up and to say, you know what?
I need some time.
I need some time. I need a little time. Can you work with me?
Yeah.
I think that's super stand-up of Troy, so thank you, Troy.
And to just close it down.
Yeah.
You know, so
it's going to be fun.
Taking a pause this week on that, and that's the way that goes. Okay, back to the conversation. I feel like I need to set it up again, but not too much because I'm not great at reading, right? You can only hear too much reading about that, but you get it. Earn a Cooking with Marijuana certificate through the ACF. I wanted to talk about that today. If you go to themoderneater.com, there are links on the front page that'll take you to exactly what we're looking at. But with Trevor Morones on, I want to just do the reset point because now let's move forward and actually talk about the benefits of it, right? Forget the red tape and the legalities, and let's get on the medicinal side and maybe even the recreation side too, because edibles, first of all, have come a long way. Not that I know, but I've heard they're delicious.
You want me to confirm that or tell you, it's questionable? Look, a lot of the edibles are very confectionery forward. I'm not a big fan of sugar. I am a huge fan of salt. I can get home from a run, and the first thing I do is go find the saltiest thing in the pantry. And if I'm not really feeling much of the pantry, I can just have a little bit of Florida Cell and then drink a lot of water, and I'll be very happy.
Listen,
so if you like the sweets, yeah, maybe we're trying, but everybody reacts differently. Let's understand that. And do not become impatient and start just pumping yourself full of a full chocolate bar claimed to be at 100 milligrams when it very well could be 1,000, because the dosing and the consistency in the world of confectionery is very challenging.
Chef, can I ask a real quick question? Chef, are you calling it marijuana or are you calling it cannabis? Because I think that's
I'm calling it cannabis because of what we've seen in the statutes, the hemp farm bill, and what we're seeing in other states. We call it cannabis, call it marijuana, pot, reefer. It doesn't bother me, whatever you call it. But when I say cannabis, I'm speaking about the entire line of cannabis, and I don't really care for the made up names, blah blah blah. I care for the chemistry of the plant.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate what
point
you just
well
said
taken.
there,
The road that Brian wanted to take you down was the concerted effort to use the terminology of marijuana back in the day when it was a very repressive word, to be able to make minorities seem to be very wacky and label them as marijuana users and wacky tobacco and all of those things. So I know what road you were going down.
Well, and it's interesting. I was going to actually ask you, does the ACF, how do they put it on their Facebook? I haven't seen that.
You know what? That's an interesting question, Brian. And I think that those nuances, you'd really have to dig in deep on the history of cannabis and how it was introduced in some of the
like cooking with cannabis.
Marketing
just
campaigns.
has a ring to it, doesn't it?
On a serious note, though, I want to go back to this medicinal purpose. And epilepsy is a very serious matter, and medications hit and miss, but at the same time, cannabis has proved to be very effective in treatment of epilepsy. Is that true?
Most of the studies are for children, and I don't have any children myself. My brothers have children. My sister has a child. And so I just like to play, big uncle and, get them educated with cooking books and proper cooking tools, give them a knife at a very young age, but show them proper technique and safety and hand sanitation. So, 20 years from now, if there's something going on, they don't really have any concern because they already wash their hands.
But you are an epileptic.
I am an epileptic patient. Pharmaceuticals do not work for me. I test them because out of respect for my neurologist, I'll go down and, I'm generating data, a lot of data. I'm a very active individual. I run very long distance races, and I'm able to handle sharp objects and do things that a lot of times they say, maybe you shouldn't do these things. And I say, maybe you should do some science homework. I'm going to prove you wrong right now.
It's the future of ingestibles. Trevor, where do you think they're going with it? Is it going to be more of that traditional edible kind of in food ingredients, or do you believe it's going to be standalone extracts and powders and that kind of thing?
It varies. It varies drastically, because if there is an individual wanting to do this more at home, it's better to get flour or what you're looking for in a different form and create your own butter or oils and things safely. Now, if you want the extraction and those to be your raw materials, which could very well help you tremendously with the confectionery or even the savory side of things, then go down that road. But you have to understand the raw materials and the safety and the importance of them. If I'll hold up, just imagine I'm holding a pen up and I put concentration in this pen. Now it's full of glass and metals. What if that concentration reacts to the aluminum that very well could be in that glass, or reacts to the metal in the pen? It's done. It's happening all around. We get a mass order in from another place because it's very cheap to process in other countries. And then they send us these vials. We fill them, we put them in a device, and you can heat it up and consume it in that way. So there's a lot to consider in this. And I don't think that there's necessarily one answer that would satisfy everybody, because there is so much to cover. There's a lot of uncharted territory.
It is, yeah. It's the Wild West.
And I don't mind the whole marijuana terminology. My father's a Mexican American, and I haven't had to grow up through such difficult times like he was growing up in East LA. But I think, I'm very proud of our heritage on both sides of the family. So if there's, credit to be given, then we'll take that credit and we'll make the most out of it and share the beautiful thing of cannabis.
Yeah. Trevor, while we have you here, and I want to have you back because I don't know whether I'm getting the best out of you or not. You seem to be a very interesting guy, and I need to spend more time with you and talk. But if there was just a couple of minutes left in this segment, what would you use that time for to be able to convey to our audience, and then tell people how they can learn more about you and how they can contact you if need be?
Absolutely. I think the best way to go about these things is consider both sides. Leave your feelings outside and bring in an open mind and consider the science that's in front of you. But consider the opposite side if the science was written in a different manner. I can put data in front of people and we can all have different interpretations on it. So therefore we write about it differently. We see things differently. So be very open-minded to it, but question everything. Ask for more. Ask for clarification where these things can be found. Go to scholar.google.com and just start looking up, what about cannabis fascinates you, marijuana, whatever. There have been countries that have been doing research for a very long time. And, look at the scientists that are coming over from Israel to be keynote speakers. And they're very fascinating people. And all they want to do is share the truth, the validity of this. But even when there is invalid data, we take that data and go, this just taught us a lesson. Now, let's go back to the drawing board and readjust. But I'm sure that we could go down this rabbit hole forever. The best way to get in touch with me is through email, because sometimes I don't have the best reception when we're on the road with other clients, possibly in other countries like Saffron in the Middle East. Reach me best at tmorones@controlpoint.consulting. You can find us on Twitter, Control Point Co, or Instagram, and we're also I'm on LinkedIn quite a bit. Traveling on airplanes, got to keep my mind busy and free of some of the sadness that seems to be written in a way to make people sad, and we have to go, there's positivity in all this world. People are so very kind. Let's be kind to each other as well.
Trevor Morones, man. Okay, can we keep in touch?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Okay, there's Trevor Morones. We're going to break away. We'll come back. SummerDinnerSeries.com. That's where we will have dinner with you all summer long, except this Tuesday.
Wait a second.
SummerDinnerSeries.com. SummerDinnerSeries.com. Where's Jay? I feel like our team.
I know.
Where are you, Jay? I don't know about you, Jay. What's going on? Why? What? I got my head back in the game.
I got to talk to the doctor when she's on at 3 o'clock. I need doctor time with Dr. Sarah Metz because I'm a basket case.
Dr. Sarah Metz.
We can talk to Trevor to see if he can't make you some special brownies or something like that, Jay.
I mean, it's just I left Carrie's commercial in the thing again, and even though I wrote it down, I mean, I'll start this therapy before the doctor's on. I wrote it down. I knew I had to do it, right? Today started out a little rough, and I don't know. I can use that as an excuse. I don't know, man, but it's like that's where I'm at truly.
What can we do to help you? How do you get it together?
Fix my brain. Tell me, read the words that you wrote on the pad that says take Carrie's liner out of the it's not that difficult.
I get it.
It's not that difficult.
Trevor's
but
like, these guys. Look at Trevor. Trevor's just sticking around listening to us. Right?
I muted him.
What do you got, Trevor? Go ahead, Trevor. We brought you back in for a second.
Now, somebody said brownies, and it might have been Brian, but, Jay, are you a savory or a sweet person? Like, which way you want to go, I'll make it for you.
If it helps me with production, you could hit me in the face with a rotten sandwich and I'll eat it, I mean, honestly.
He might need a beer, too.
I'll take you on a trail, and we'll just go. We don't have to talk, but you'll free your mind in nature, do a little meditation. Then we'll go back, and I'll make you dinner with some cannabis in it if that's what you want. But I will be in your state to do that.
Well, listen, man, when you're in Colorado, you look up the Modern Eater Show, man. We'll bring you in studio. We'll let you go berserk.
Yeah, all right. We're going to have fun.
We have a beautiful kitchen.
Do you ever make it to Colorado, Trevor?
I do make it to Colorado, mostly for the National Cannabis Industry Association, and that's what we're in for.
What's with the jacket you're wearing right now?
We've been working with. These are my whites that I wear when I'm getting dirty in the mix. When I go, the first place I go inside an establishment, food service retail, is to wash dishes, because then people understand that I'm not just there to say go left and go right. I am there to be a part of the team, get dirty through this, and connect with people. Then they start to realize that everybody there is an asset to the success and the food safety of the operation, and they come to us with questions, help, guidance, and we give it.
Hey, are you in your home office?
No, this is my company office.
Oh, really? What's your facility like?
Small kitchen, small office. That's about it. I mean, it's nothing crazy, but we're talking about building a testing lab in Dallas, Texas.
Is your computer mobile?
Oh, I have two. I have one to edit all of our content.
Meaning, if I were to ask you to grab that computer and walk around your facility, would you be able to do that?
Well, no, these beautiful Logitech headphones are strapped to here, so I wouldn't be able to walk very far. I might fall backwards.
We'll get you on the phone another time. I want to take a look around, but as I look at those certificates on your wall, you got one of them that's from the ACF with cooking with cannabis certified? No?
Negative. No, I come from the world of science and testing things. I have other certificates that I have to maintain to teach.
What's your prize
fancy classes
certificate right there? Which one?
It's not even hanging, but I'd say it's the BRC certificate that I can go and actually audit facilities, except we don't do the auditing. We go in to take them to third-party certification, like successfully, and set their team up and build their food safety culture. We're in for the long haul. Wow. But, I mean, it's all paper, like whatever. I just get dirty in the trenches to show people I really do have the skills, and so does my entire team. We have people that do it in the fields for agriculture, and then we have, actually, our business partner is a scientist, a meat scientist. She's a little bit shorter than I am, but she is a badass. She's very good.
We got to get back with Trevor soon. Yeah. All right, Trevor, stand by. We'll get back at you in the next few days, man. Trevor Morones is right there. Thank you, sir. Next is going to be Ryan Evans from Brews Beers. That's next on the Modern Eater Show.
Hey, guys. It's Rebecca Berry with Hot Schedules powered by Fourth here. And you know what they say. If you can't take the heat, then you should get out of the kitchen. But with Hot Schedules powered by Fourth, we want you in the kitchen while we put out those fires. With Hot Schedules, we help to mitigate risk with HR, payroll, and tax compliance solutions so you can continue to put those plates on the table for your guests. Today's a big day. We're reopening, so call me. Rebecca.berry@fourth.com. That's Rebecca.berry@fourth.com. With Hot Schedules by Fourth, we've got you covered.
Hey, Modern Eater fans. I'm Don Trobo with the Annex by Ardent Mills, and I just wanted to give you a heads up about some of the great things we've got going on locally in the state. We're headquartered right here, and we're working with farmers in the San Luis Valley to bring you amazing Colorado quinoa. It's just like the South American stuff, but grown locally. We've got transitional wheat flour that's grown by farmers in Colorado and surrounding states who are in the process of turning their fields into organic. So we're taking that transitional wheat and turning it into flour, and now it's available for you to cook and bake with. And last but not least, we're now cleaning grain berries in Denver. So things like spelt or wheat berries or pearl barley, those are things that we're now doing right here locally and are available to you. Can't wait to share it with you.
Hey there, Barbecue All-Star. This is your year, so what if you weren't drafted? The only draft you need to be worried about is actually spelled D-R-A-U-G-H-T, and it's adult for the word beer. It's barbecue season, baby. Now get out there and grill your ass off.
Back at it on the Modern Eater Show. We're going to have to walk Jay off the ledge today.
I know. He just needs some support from his friends, man. I think that's always what it is, right? Needs a little bit of loving. I know he doesn't like to be touched, So
I'll survive. It's just it's more of like I feel terrible for not lifting my end of the couch, as it were. I feel like by leaving those commercials in and the little things that I make mistakes on, I feel like I let down TME, and Greg and Brian. So it's,
How about Ryan? You never let Ryan down.
I don't care about Ryan.
Never. He's never let me down. Always there for me.
Ryan Evans, Brews Beers. What's happening, man?
How's it going?
You are in Midtown.
Yeah, we're just north of Denver. About I don't know. I can get downtown about 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, I was just confirming that's where you are, not down on the Colfax location.
Thought we were on. Yeah, I'm up in Midtown.
Yeah, we're on, baby. We're on the stream live right now. Thank you for joining us. Update. You want to hear an update? We do our work live on the air. Postponing this Tuesday's dinner until September 1st. How's your calendar?
Yeah, we're doing September 1st down with Troy Guard, and we've got some pretty special beers in the hopper, so the delay actually helps us bring back some pretty top-shelf stuff that we wanted to be a part of the dinner anyway, so we're pretty excited about it. It doesn't mess us up. We continue to make good beer, and we'll have some good ones ready for the dinner.
Can you give us a sneak peek of what may be available?
Yeah, so we've got 3 different fruited Belgian blondes that'll be coming out in time for the dinner. So we'll probably sneak one of those in, depending on which direction Troy wants to go as far as the meal. But we've got an Asian pear blonde, which is always extremely popular. We've got a guava blonde, and then we've got a raspberry lime, and all using real fruit, no fake fruits around here. So so we're excited about those 3. We'll have our Diablo Colorado, which is golden strong. It's extremely popular with us. Real smooth, easy drinking, but powerful beer. So we'll probably try to slide something like that in there. And then we've got a couple of barrel aged that may make the cut depending on timing. So,
couple questions. Beer industry, man. Seeing Julia Hurst from the Brewers Association get furloughed, and she's a free agent, and other folks around, and Jonathan Shikes writes a piece on, maybe the heyday is over. I look to you, my man, and you guys are solid, I think, right? But Is there a lot of uncertainty going on in your business right now?
Obviously a lot of change is going on, right? And that's when people get antsy and obviously want something to report on. So they're going to try to find some of these nuances that are going on and kind of chew on them for a while. And that's always going to happen. I mean, obviously the changes before COVID were all very positive, and, New England style IPAs coming out and starting to blow up the industry and bringing new people into the craft beer side. And, so a lot of the reporting has been pretty positive. Now you got COVID-19 shut us down, shut everyone down in the state for a little while, put us all into some to-go modes, forced some people to change into packaging, which they never thought they would. And, and now here we are coming back out. They're starting to close things down again. You hear other states that have opened breweries and restaurants and bars, and they've shut them down again. And we're kind of tiptoeing around that right now in Colorado. Hopefully it doesn't go that direction. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of changes. It's really forced people to dig deep, button the hatches down, skinny up their costs, operate smart, and make really good beer. It's a tough time to be in the industry. You try to convince someone to open a brewery this week. That might be a hard sell. 6 months ago, probably not as hard. So you're always going to have that challenge. The brewery owners that I frequent and talk with and hang out with and enjoy their beers with, we're all just very much in the go forward mode. Work hard and protect yourselves. But our industry is here to stay. We're not going anywhere. There's plenty of us that are still going to be in this game when this thing's over. It's not anything anyone asked for, but it is really making people work harder and figure out their craft. You've got to have quality to survive this thing. And so you're going to see some great beers come out of the end.
What are some of the realities, like money-wise? Are you making any money at all right now? Are people coming in? I mean, let's face it, and this was one of the things that really was interesting to me a couple years back when the Brewers Association released a study that said that you need to be doing 80% tap room, 20% distribution in order to survive. You need to cultivate your neighborhood. It needs to be a gathering spot where people come and they drink beer, and you're making your money in the tap room. That's all on its ear right now. The model is...
Yeah, it is, Yeah, that was our model, right? We were very much tap room focused. We were probably 90% tap room, 10% wholesale. We dabbled in wholesale with some of the best bars and restaurants in town because we appreciate their craft and what they do with their food, and we thought our beers paired well with them. So we did have about 10% going out the door, but about 90% in the door. That now has switched, and we're probably closer to 35% wholesale, and we've never been there. We're probably getting closer to 40% this month. That side continues to grow for us. We never wanted to be in the canning wholesale side of the business. We just we like the customer interaction. We like the to bring people into our space and educate them and really forge that relationship. COVID forced us into canning and forced us into that distribution. It only took us a few weeks to get that side of the business up and running and full steam, and it carried us through the COVID crisis. So when our tap room was closed, our wholesale was ratcheting up, and we figured it out pretty quick and made some good partners on that side. And so, yeah, it's carried us. The margin is a lot smaller. The numbers in the tasting room, last month, June just ended about a week ago or so, and I did the numbers, and we were within 10% of last year's numbers in the tasting room here at the brewery, but we were only open technically for 3 out of the 4 weeks. So I think that's a strong number. Again, the margins are smaller, right? So you're gonna have to see higher revenue numbers just to be at the same point we were last year. And then you go into the wholesale side. It's grown tremendously for us, but I know there's a lot of breweries that are struggling to get into that side because we're all jumping in over there, right? And so what do you have that's unique that they want to put on that shelf and sell? We're a little unique in the fact that all we do is Belgian style. So we're not fighting to get in on the New England IPA shelf or the IPA shelves, period. And so far we've had a really welcoming reception by wholesalers and liquor stores because we bring a new product that they don't really have a lot of. So we're lucky on that side, and we're very thankful on that. But the orders continue to come in. We're on rounds 3 and 4 on some of these liquor stores, and they're staying strong. So yeah, I think it's tough. It's a tough industry right now, but it's again, this has forced us to jump into wholesale, which we never would have. And we figured out we kind of enjoy it, and we're good at it, and we like the people in there, and we can still represent our brand how we want to. And so it's here to stay. That's a arm of our brewery that will remain.
Ryan, are you guys self-distributing, or are you guys did you go through a distributor?
Yep, no, we're self-distributed. We get approached by distributors. My thought has always been we want to be the one that touches the customer. And so, a distributor for us at this size would want to, be a much larger scale and for that to work. So we've always wanted to self-distribute as long and as far as we can. So, we bought a van about a year ago when we were opening our second taproom location here in Denver. And so it's served us well for deliveries on the wholesale side. So we were prepared for that. But no, yeah, we don't have a distributor. We get approached by some, but it's for us right now, distribution is where we want to be.
Listen, man, it just gets me going because I love hearing from the best of the best. And these are the bright minds that we have in Colorado, and Ryan Evans from Brews Beer. So what I've learned is brew better beer, get your beer game up, right? That's one of the things. Another thing is diversify, right? The other things that I'm hearing is try and control your own channels.
I think that's important. That's really important. And, our partnerships with restaurants around town are strong. And as they have come back, we've reached out and said, hey, what can we do to help you? They're lucky in the fact that our beer is unfiltered and it's usually higher in ABV. So the shelf life on our beers can be several years. So luckily our customers didn't have the threat of having to dump our beer because it's set for 3 months. So we walked them through kind of how to deal with that and why that beer is still good. We've stopped by and tasted it and personally made sure, this is still right where you want it to be. You can serve it. And then we've offered quick turnarounds. So some of these guys, they open up and, they might owe some money and they might, be in a tough spot. And we say, that's all right. You're going to be there. You're still our partner. And we rush a keg out to them day of and get them open because there's no way they're going to recover if they don't have something to sell. And so you kind of ride the wave and get in bed with them a little bit. But these are guys that we believe in and trust in, some of the best chefs in Denver. And so that partnership has to be strong.
Best of the best, the boss of all bosses, 2 location, one in Midtown and another location on Colfax. So, Ryan, as we settle up here, and I want to ask you about your Colfax location, when I say that it's okay for Brian to come in off of his shift off Colfax and he's worked up a big sweat and he's ready to go in and get a nice, delicious beer, are you there and open and able to serve him a delicious beer?
Yeah, we're open both locations daily, 9 a.m. or 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. And they're both doing well. They both have patios. Right now with the weather being so good, it seems that the patios always fill up first, which is great. But we've got indoor seating available at both as well. But yeah, they're both going. They're both kicking and alive. And people are really grateful. It's a little bit different. The tables are spread out. There's hand sanitizer. There's some rules you got to follow. But for the most part, it hasn't been a challenge on that side. People have been respectful and appreciative that we've put the effort into not only open, but open right, open safe. The last thing we need to do is be a part of the problem. So we're just working hard to mind the rules and have a little fun, man. We all worked our tails off through this thing. We might as well play a little bit.
Absolutely. Dude, we'll see you on the 1st. Chef Troy Guard, his dinner postponed. Not this Tuesday night. We're going to do it at the end of the summer. Get a little bit more produce, right?
Yep.
And September 1st, we'll step off smartly at 6:30 p.m. It is a Tuesday night. Tickets, just a few left, and we're going to ask folks that as we postpone this until the 1st of September. Would you like to Oh, she just
sneezed cough.
Oh, man, I thought you almost erupted in your pants there. That would have been terrible. Brian Freeman had to sneeze, and he held it in. And things came out other ends. Thank you very much, Ryan. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, thanks for what you guys are doing. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. Brews Beers, BRUZ beers.com. Look them up. Best of the best. We're lucky to have them here in Colorado. Okay, we'll break off. SummerDinnerSeries.com. SummerDinnerSeries.com.
SummerDinnerSeries.com. And we have a special guest coming in right after the break. Who is it?
It's Dr. Sarah Metz, and we need her more than ever because Jay, for the first time, has said, I need the doctor today.
Yeah, I said that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'll change my mind once you're on because I'll get nervous, but yes.
No turning back now. Jay said he needs the doctor. The doctor's up next. Dr. Baby Yoda. We haven't seen her in a while. It's good to see your face. Dr. Baby Yoda up next on the Modern Eater Show.
Brews is back. Hi, I'm Charlie Gottenkenny, brewmaster at Brews Beers. We have finally reopened, and our badass Belgian-style beers are flowing. Brews Beers has a huge selection of great beers on draft. Belgian IPAs, doubles, triples, white beers, saisons, and many more. Stop by our brewery tap room at 67th and Pecos in North Denver and bring your dog. Or swing by Brews Off Fax on the south side of Colfax in York. Both tap rooms are open from 2 to 9 p.m. 7 days a week. There are large outdoor patios at both locations, and for your protection, Brews is following all CDC guidelines inside and out. You can still order beers from our website, brewsbeers.com, or come by to take out cans, bottles, and growlers. And once again, you can enjoy our great beers in our tap rooms. Brews Beers, back open with plenty of Belgian-style badassery.
Hey guys, it's Brian Rizzuto with Encore Energy, the guy who saves your businesses money on natural gas. I know these are crazy, crazy times right now. So while your business is working on increasing your sales, let me work on saving you guys money on your natural gas. I'll make it as easy as possible. Just provide 12 months worth of natural gas bills to me. I'll do the rest. I know you're really busy, so let me get to work for you. You can reach me at 720-245-5771. I look forward to hearing from you guys, and let me try to save you some money in these crazy times. Bye.
We started Meridium Spirits because we love the way that spirits and cocktails can bring people together to socialize, to bond, to have conversations. Well, right now we've got some big conversations to have. Coop Vodka and Coop Gin are available at liquor stores across the metro area, but if you can't find us or would like to have us behind your bar or at your restaurant, send us an email, info@meridiumspirits.com. We know things are a little different these days, but think of us the next time you're planning a virtual happy hour or a socially distant picnic. And keep an eye on our social media, Coop by Meridium, for all the latest and greatest.
Hey, Dave Thibodeau here. Hey, friends of the Modern Eater. This is Dave Thibodeau from Ska Brewing and Peach Street Distillers. I wanted to let you know that our new brew distillery is up and running again in Boulder. And we've got a great selection of Ska beers, nearly 30 on tap. We've also got all of our Peach Street spirits available, a great mixology program that we brought down from the Western Slope and Palisade. We're open limited hours, Wednesday through Friday from 3 to 10. And then we open up earlier at 10 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday and get some brunch action rolling. We have 2 great patios. Socially distanced seating is available. And you can always check for more information at scastreet.com and hope we become your new favorite neighborhood spot. And I'd like to meet you there in the not too distant future for a beer or a drink soon. So take care, be healthy, and stay strong. And I'll talk to you later.
Okay, back to the show, and yay. That's all I have to do is say yay, because it's been a while, and Dr. Sarah Metz joins us. Look at that. She's glowing, that smile, that angelic glow that you have. How are you, Doctor?
Good. How are you guys? How was the road trip?
Oh, man. Did you get a load of any of that?
I did. You guys looked like you were having a epic romance fraternity party.
It was so
like
interesting.
Like a reality show right there.
Is that how dysfunctional college was? I don't remember that.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. it's interesting because you start to understand relationships with people when you're in close quarters, and you can't escape, right? So a couple of the things I learned. So Dr. Metz joins us, and she's referring to our road trip, which Brian and Jay and myself, we go out on a 2-week adventure every single year. This was the 3rd year running. We were able to do that. So Jay started the road trip as the glue, which is really strange. He kept Brian and I at bay, he kept us together. He was the voice of reason. Then Jay started to unravel because he couldn't take that anymore. Jay, you better have your mic on, man. What do you have to do right now that's so important?
Cross-post to Code 4 Counseling. Get George Eater the Zoom link and make sure he can come on after per your request. Make sure that the graphics I'm showing are Summer Dinner Series. Make sure that the doctor's name and website come up.
We need you.
A couple. Pause. So, but a couple of things, though.
Pause. So Jay started to unravel. Brian and I then rallied for Jay, get Jay. Good. And then Brian and Jay started, and then I had to keep people together. And so we went around, and it was just one person keeping the other two together.
That's usually how it is.
But at the end, it was amazing because it started out a little rocky, and towards the end, it was like we were all just really getting along famously. And I don't know if it's famously or if it was just like, okay, we understand each other's nuances, and it just is what it is, type of thing.
It's 3 40-year-old guys, 40, close. Some of us closer to 50, but it's 3 of those, and everybody. And this is my deduction of the whole situation is that it's 3 people trying to do everything their way. Right, so I'm brushing my teeth in a sink, and I can feel Brian Freeman looking at me. And even though he doesn't say anything, I know he's going like, I would never brush my teeth in a kitchen sink.
Why are you doing that?
I want to kill this guy. And then the same thing about anything else, where you see somebody doing something, and you're like, man, I just wouldn't do it that way. And so it's annoying. And then the annoyance and the irritation from that carries over to something later that may not be that big a deal, but you make it a bigger deal because you're already a little bit perturbed from brushing teeth in a sink, and then something else happens, and then you go like, whoa, and you freak out, and it's like, whoa, man, that's teeth brushing stuff coming into something else. That's my professional opinion.
Welcome to marriage.
Yeah.
And he very clearly stated on the whole trip, Doctor, he says, I will not get married. I will not have kids because this is the kind of crap I don't want.
Well, first of all, that's not accurate.
That. That's right.
I didn't say that.
Doctor, did you miss us? That's all we need to know.
I did miss you guys. I still had to tune in from time to time so I could get my Modern Eater fix.
Man, it got a little interesting at certain times to where, we were doing some late night broadcasts where other people had some, imbibe a little bit, and we kind of just roll with the flow. But it was interesting to, getting around. First of all, farmers are going to do and say whatever they want to do and say.
Of course.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not changing that up. Ranchers on that, same thing. Brewers, distillers. There were a lot of smart, interesting people as we got to circle the state. But I can tell you this for certain: some parts of the state you wouldn't think COVID was an issue at all. Other parts of the state is like, please keep your distance, stranger traveling through.
I bet.
Our motto was know where you go. What was it?
Yeah, it's know where you go.
Know where you go? Like what they're doing in their area. We were very respectful of everybody. We proceeded with caution at all points in time. But got through it, and I think that 1,000 mosquito bites later, we all have them collectively with their...
You guys want to know my biggest fear in life? This is a true story. It's mosquitoes. I'm ridiculously afraid of mosquitoes. They make me cry. I hate mosquitoes. I don't know why.
You would have not...
Well, my therapy will be another day.
So, let's take you to Crestone, Colorado, where they come in swarms, Doctor.
That's a hard no. Absolutely no. Couldn't do it. Gives me anxiety.
You should see it. Greg too was that way. We were all looking at these, and it was funny because we didn't notice it until all of a sudden I got a little closer to the farmer who's got coveralls on, and I'm like, are all those mosquitoes? And he had like 50 to 100 on the side of him. It was, and that was the point when everyone started being like, look at her. She's squirming right now.
I know. She would have hated it. So
Yes.
we're walking around this guy's farm, and mid-interview, I leave. I just leave. Well, here's the thing: is we all loaded up on bug spray, and it was all slathered all over us. The mosquitoes.
I had like 50 to 100 on the side of them. It was, and that was the point when everyone started being like, look at her. She's...
So the mosquitoes did not care about the bug spray at all, 0%. So I proceeded to jolt out of this interview. They're still talking. I don't know how. Jay's carrying his camera come hell or high water. He's going to die. And somehow he's got mosquitoes all over his body. I go beeline to go get this spray, and I'm dousing the mosquitoes off people's bodies at like direct spray.
And nothing. They're just drinking it. Yeah, they're like, you got nothing.
Yeah, they barely wanted to deal with that. What have you been up to, Doctor? What have you been up to?
Oh, there's not much going on around here.
Not
it's
at
pretty
all.
quiet. That's not true at all. No, it's been wild. It's been chaotic. It's been a lot of people needing a lot of support. So we're doing what we can.
Yeah. And we want to thank you. I want to do this because we've talked about it the past couple of days, but the sudden passing of one of our own, Chef Brandon Foster, here in our community. And this is one of those things to where you're very happy that we have the services of Dr. Sarah Metz in the culinary industry, but then you don't want to use them because that means something interesting has happened. And interesting it is as one of the nicest, held high esteem folks has left our community in Brandon Foster, and there are other people that sudden changes and death is a very difficult thing to process. And you are available for the culinary community through the Colorado Restaurant Association to be able to have some counseling for folks that may want to outreach to you. Is that true, Doctor?
It is, yeah. We've been doing that for a couple of months now, and the program really started through our partnership with you guys and with Mary Mino with the Colorado Restaurant Foundation, and we've been providing free counseling for the past couple of months, just been kind of pretty specifically for folks who are really struggling with COVID and what that has done to their lives. And now, absolutely, we definitely are seeing kind of an uptick now as people try to process some grief.
Processing grief. One thing I can tell you is generally not a good idea to do alone.
No. Grief is definitely an experience that really requires people to have their tribe around them. And if they don't have that kind of a built-in tribe, that is where counseling can really step in and give you someone to process that through. But what we want is for people to acknowledge that grief is an injury, and it really means you have to do something specific to take care of yourself to help heal from that injury. Grief is a tough experience to have, and just the education around what grief looks like and, I think is a big deal for people. So it definitely sounds like he was very well loved in this community, and we certainly know a lot of people are suffering. So if there is something that Code 4 can do, we're happy to help.
Yeah. Let's take a look at that just a little bit, and then we'll leave it to you, the professional. But some folks it's like, why do I want to contact this? Good and all, she's a doctor. She's linked up with the Restaurant Foundation. She comes with high accolades, but you know what? There's other ways for me to go. What can you offer as a professional and tell the audience that may just be on the fence of reaching out for this type of support? What can you say to ease their minds or to bring them into a different thought process?
So I think because so many people in the industry are suffering, really where counseling can step in is if everyone in your tribe, if everyone in your community is also experiencing grief, it's really hard sometimes for an individual to say, well, I don't want to put my grief onto somebody else. They're already suffering. I'm trying to take care of everyone around me. So when is it my time to process? And that's where having a counselor sit with you and allow your experience to be validated and really let it be your turn to go through your experience and put language to it. A counselor is different from a friend also in that we can help you put emotional language to experiences. And what we're learning about the restaurant industry is it's not always a industry where they've had a lot of experience with putting emotional language to things. This is a very high-driven culture where it is very much suck it up, just get her done. You don't talk about emotions in the restaurant. And so a counselor can really, help you take a step back and experience it in a different way, maybe than you would with your friends and with your tribe who's probably suffering along with you. We certainly understand what's happening, but we're not as emotionally invested in it so that we are able to just really sit and experience our client's experience.
Doctor, can I ask, what would you recommend for people? Because I think sometimes grief shows up in such different ways, right? Denial, excuse me,
anger,
avoidance, and there's all these pieces that show up in grief. And sometimes, what would you recommend for people that can't see and understand where they are really?
Mm-hmm. That's where taking a step back and trying to label that and know that the range of what's normal when people are grieving is huge. A lot of times people think, oh my God, something's wrong with me. I'm having hallucinations. I'm seeing the person who died. That's actually really normal. So really letting yourself recognize whatever your experience is, it's probably normal. If you're experiencing, like you said, kind of that numbness and I don't really know what to experience, that's okay. If you're really irritable and angry, that's okay. If you're having a lot of dreams or difficulty sleeping, that's okay. The one thing we would really encourage people to do is not engage in the one coping strategy that we know the restaurant industry heavily relies on, which is drinking and alcohol. Yes, is that often something that the tribe does together? The group will say, hey, let's have a couple of drinks. That's okay, a couple of drinks. But if the couple of drinks turns into getting completely wasted, that's preventing healing. That's going to prevent good sleep and all of the things we know also are necessary to kind of go through this.
These are the things, and this is why we turn to Dr. Sarah Metz in our time of uncertainty, and she guided us on a daily basis through COVID-19 and our emotional roller coasters. And boy, you saw Brian go through all kinds of stuff, right? And he's doing great today through a lot of certain things, and I can't help but think that it's just you kind of guiding us through. I know on a daily basis I'm reliving and recounting some of the words of wisdom that you give me for reset points and sleep hygiene and tolerance and being allowed to say, you know what, I'm at 80% today or 50% today. I need to allow other people around me to lift me up, and that's okay to do. So the offer is there. Code for counseling. Please take Dr. Sarah Metz up on the offer. She has been retained by the Colorado Restaurant Foundation in order to utilize some of her time for services. This is a no-brainer. Please, if you have a thought or just explore it.
Yeah.
Just reach out, because a lot of times that's just the first step is reaching out. Jay, reach out.
Well, I am, but I'm doing it for free, right here, right now. I sing the same old song, Doctor, every time, I have you on, to where it's like, I am self-aware of my problems. I truly feel like I'm intelligent enough to know I'm not street smarts or I'm not book smarts. That waved bye-bye to me a million years ago. But I'm in tune with who I am and what I'm inept at doing. And a lot of times it's like, so for example, today's problem, as I'm not going to get into my problems, and then I get into my problems as soon as I stare at Dr. Sarah Metz. But it's like, so here's the problem, right? And then so you tell me how to fix this, where it's like, and I'll use the production part of it, because that's where all my stress comes from. All my stress comes from my job, this job. I mean, truly, at least the bulk of it, Netflix calms me down so I don't get any stress out of that. But it's like, I wrote down a note to do something with production. I told myself yesterday when I effed it up, hey, man, don't forget to do this. So in order to not forget to do this, write this down. I mean, I guess I could set a reminder in my phone. Maybe that's the point where I'm at, where it's like, listen, I know the show starts at 2 o'clock. Set a reminder for 1 o'clock for that, and that's what I'll have to do, right? But it's like, and then I still forget. I still forget to do it. And I can use a million different scapegoats for it. You know, I can say, well, the day started off real rough. I could say I got in an argument with Greg, or I was trying to schedule a building inspection, and I was on the phone for an hour and a half this morning and then just got disconnected, right? I can use all those as like, well, this is why I forgot to do production. But that's, as my grandmother would say, rest in peace, is that's just a pity party. You know, and that doesn't.
I'm just glad you don't do maintenance on airplanes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, that's right.
Because none of that would matter, Jay.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Why did you not de-ice the wings, Jay?
Yeah, hold on a second. Landing gear? That's my fault. No, it's not there.
Well, what do you do when a million things start falling through the cracks, and obviously your brain's and it's affecting you professionally, Doctor? What do you do?
Well, you do actually, and again, that's kind of the old school advice, and I got to say, I'm sorry, but that cheesecake, George, is looking really fantastic. So I'm going to multitask here, but whatever that was, I want it. However, I'll also do my job and save Jay's problem here. But what I would say is those are symptoms. And as much as the old school approach would be to say, that doesn't matter, that's not the point, do it anyway. Think about if you go to the ER and you have an injury, but you're not really sure what it is, the doctor needs to know all of the symptoms, right? All of that stuff you're saying are the symptoms of your stress injury, which is why you forget to do things. And so they do matter. And for you to be able to say, okay, well, maybe the solution is I'm so injured, my brain isn't going to remember it on its own, so I need to put the reminder in my phone.
Right, but then what happens if I forget to put the reminder? You know, because that's because yeah,
Mike's loud.
Because that's me. You know, I would forget to put the reminder. I would remember to put the reminder and then forget to physically do it. You know, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Too much.
But that's because there's a lot going on. And I think people need to give themselves more credit that they, everybody is going through more injury than they're used to. COVID and protests and just the way the world is right now. People are really injured. They're not remembering things the way they normally would. They're not getting things done in the same way they normally would. They don't have the amount of energy they normally would. And that is okay. We need people to say, all right, I might have to get creative about how I get stuff done. I'm the same way. I'm sitting right next to it. I have a book and I have a completely disorganized mess of notes in it because I can't remember anything. Yeah. And if it's not in my book or it's not on my calendar, it's not going to get done. And maybe 30% of the stuff that's in the book is going to get done because I still forget about it.
Hey, listen.
And I just have to come to terms with that's where I'm at right now. I'm doing the best I can. And Jay, I'm guessing everybody around you would also say they know you're doing the best.
He's his worst critic right now, I can tell you.
I mean, listen, and I'm also completely aware that there's a billion people out there watching this show, if there was a billion watching the show, that would go, hey, dude, if your biggest stress is forgetting to take out a Chef Carrie Baird liner from the Modern Eater show, you're living a pretty good life. Right, you know what I mean. So it's like I try to keep that in perspective too. That I don't even know what real stress is. I'm a single guy. I'm out on the town.
Look, he's making himself feel better.
I mean, truly, like I get it. You know, the perception of what stress is and everything. And it doesn't change that I get stressed, but I'm able to. I can reel myself. Yeah, I can reel.
Well, let's check back tomorrow when he forgets again.
Yeah, did we just witness self-soothing? Like, did that all just play out in front of us?
Hey, man, listen. My sex life is by myself. I self-medicate myself. Everything happens with me alone in a room. You know, that's what I do. Right. I'm the only one that can fix my brain and the other things.
Looks like you need a little bit of us today there, Doctor. You been okay?
It's good to see you guys again.
Have you been okay?
It's been rough. I will say, like I've always told you, you got to admit to it. It's been a rough couple months for us, but you know, I like what Jay is saying in that you also keep it in perspective, and we know that we're very blessed and very lucky, and we try to pay it forward, and that paying it forward gives us happiness. So we'll keep doing that until the world feels happy again.
Okay. Will you be joining us for dinner at some point this summer for Summer Dinner Series?
I am going to try. I was actually online looking at dates the other day, and we are going to try to get a date night on the books. Yes.
We'd love to have you as our guest for sure. We need to figure out a way to repay you for all of this therapy for Jay, because
well, Jay just fixed himself. I get no credit at all for that.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
right.
you buy tickets then. So yeah, as we exit with you and bring George Eater on, let's do it smoothly so he can tease you with his delicious cheesecake.
Yes, please.
George,
I want to know what that was.
there's George. Hey, George, what's happening? What was she talking about? I didn't get to see it. You're muted.
You can hold on a second. God save us all. Now, technically, in my defense, he's got to unmute himself.
Unmute yourself.
He had the broadcast going when he signed on. You heard that.
There he is.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes,
We
sir.
can hear you, and we
Like
can
a
see your
Verizon
food.
commercial. Can you hear me now?
Yes. What do you got there?
Limoncello cheesecake with pistachio nut crust and limoncello reduction and a little zabaione made with prosecco. It was one of those days, Dr. Sarah, I needed something like to pick me up in the afternoon because it's been a crazy day already. So I got a fresh cup of coffee and a cheesecake, and I'm going to treat myself.
Yeah, that's therapy at its best.
We'll see you in 20 minutes, dude. 20. You don't need to do this. I hate for friends to be alone during times like this. So I'd offer to be a great friend and come join you there, George. Where are you, downtown?
You're welcome. Oh, I am in DTC.
You're in DTC?
We had, the stress of everything got to one of my longest time servers, and he just couldn't do it anymore and kind of lost it and had to go.
Exit stage left, huh? Sometimes that helps out, too. Run for the hills.
Well, yeah, they hate to see people get to that point, but sometimes it happens.
Yeah, do what's best for you. Hey, Dr. Sarah Metz, when do we get to see you again? I know it's hit and miss these days. We appreciate your time as always, but when's next? Maybe once a week?
I don't know. We can probably do once a week. I will sit down with Jay, and I'll get his calendar lined up with my calendar, and I'll make him put his reminder in his phone, and I'll put a reminder in my phone to see you guys again next week.
Perfect. And if we don't see you, it's because Jay forgot.
Yeah.
Exactly. We'll blame Jay.
I forgot to take my memory medicine.
That's right. Doctor, thank you so much. We'll see you soon. There she is, Dr. Sarah Metz, Code 4 Counseling. Okay, George Eater, you've listen, the business you've been in for a long time. If you think that everything's going to go perfectly in the hospitality and restaurant business, you got another thing coming, right?
It's a new adventure every day.
You roll with the punches, right?
You got to.
So is that what keeps you in the business, George? Sorry, Greg.
No, you're good.
Is that what keeps you in the business?
That's part of what, I'm not meant for a desk job. It's, you're in this business because you love people and you kind of want to make everybody happy. And sometimes you can do that and sometimes you can't. And you just got to come back the next day and try and do it all over again a little better than you did the day before.
Yep, keep kicking. One of the things that I'm finding is as I get older in life, as I turn 48 on, I think 48. I really seriously, is it 48?
Well, you said 72, right?
I think it's 38. It's still 38, Greg.
No. He's 71. You're 71. You are 1971, so that means you're 49.
The point that I was making is as I get older, I believe that the best way to lead with anything in life is just be honest and direct forward. People sniff out BS in a second, and I really appreciated Troy Guard coming to me this morning and saying, you know what, I've been busy juggling chainsaws. I had a window of opportunity to get out of town with my daughter. I need to take it. Can we reschedule the dinner? I said, absolutely. September 1st, Troy Guard's dinner's postponed. It's not what we wanted, but you know what? I believe that's what's in the cards. September 1st will be the close date, but now we have to ask the boss. Boss, can we use the venue another week longer?
100%.
Thank you.
All of us right now just have to play life by ear And you know what? There's days you wake up and it's just the weight of the world is just heavy that day. And sometimes you just need to take a little break. And have as many restaurants as Troy does, I understand it completely. His family's everything.
Yeah, he did give us the option, like, hey, my team is locked and loaded and ready to go and come in here and do this next Tuesday. And Chef Corey, who we spoke to, the corporate chef, and let's face it, Corey does a lot of the menus and executes a lot of the food for the restaurants as the corporate chef. That's a show in itself. We just didn't sell it that way.
Yeah. Well, but listen, in defense of Troy, smart people and good businessmen.
No one does.
They put better people behind them and in their deck of cards. And so the reality is yes, his team could do all of this for us.
Yeah.
But part of it is we're highlighting Troy, and we want to give him and his team.
Faux show.
I've known Troy for years, right? No one tells a story the way Troy tells a story. That's half the fun of getting them out and about and having them hang out. I want to hear a Troy story.
So we look forward, and what we look forward to is the next dinner. The next dinner is July 21st with the Fairy Gutmother and Biker Jim. This dinner's almost sold out. You got to get your tickets on that. I will be, right when we're done with this show, going to reach out to every single person from Troy's dinner. We're going to get on the same page. You're going to have two options. You want to join us for that dinner on the 1st, or do you want your money back? Those are the two options. Once we figure out where that's at, if these two tops open up, because we're doing 2 tops and 4 tops, and trust me, those 2 tops go like lightning. They're sold out right now. If a 2 top drops, you need to be clicking refresh on Eventbrite once these dates have changed, because if a 2 top opens up and you want it, you'll be able to get it. I don't know that there will be.
Well, man, this is like the Van Halen reunion tour. You better get a ticket quicker. It's going to be sold out.
So we've got a great lineup of 7 more dinners to go. They're every Tuesday night, and now it goes through September 1st. One of the dinners that I'm really looking forward to is this gentleman right here who's on with us, George Eater. George, you're going to lay down, you're pulling out all the stops for your dinner, right? I mean, home turf, you know what? Here's the analogy. And I don't think it's ever happened. Has the home team ever played a Super Bowl in their stadium?
Ooh,
no.
Good question.
Ooh, that's a good question.
I don't think they.
I don't think one has, and a lot have tried.
I don't think they do that on purpose, though, don't they?
No, they picked the spot, and Miami's had a shot at it a few times, and we've done it in a lot of domes, But I think the Saints came the closest.
Yeah, I think they did that one year with Breeze,
but never made it. But George, you're playing the Super Bowl at your stadium, man.
That's going to be fun. A little home turf goes a long way, especially when you're cooking and you know your kitchen, you know which burners work, the best, and the wood oven and all that kind of fun stuff. So we're gonna have a blast with it.
Jiggle it.
Yeah,
and I might have to add in a couple of courses because I have so many ideas. I might have to, I might not be able to stop with just 5.
What's one of the ideas that you would like to explore? Like, you have your menu set in your mind, but if you were to just get real jiggy with it, man, you want to just get funky, get down and dirty, what would you throw out there? It's like, man, I probably shouldn't do this, but it'd be cool if I did.
Well, we were talking today, like we're running this watermelon caprese for summer, and I really would just want to do that dish. Because I think everybody's had a regular caprese, but doing it with grilled watermelon just takes it to a whole nother level. And we definitely want to do that. And a lot of my guys are like, please bring back we've done this risotto di mare with scallops for a bunch of different things. And it's trying to see how do you make it a fun summer patio dish, but it's such a savory dish when you do a saffron risotto and seared scallops and calamari and shrimp and mussels and clams, and you put it all in one thing. It's pretty delicious.
Yes, please. We're coming. We're on our way.
Done and done, literally. I almost said something, but you're right. We are coming, and we are on our way. So, Chef George, your dinner is now the the third from last. It used to be the second from last, but the third from last. It'll be on your home turf, downtown Pizza Republica. SummerDinnerSeries.com. SummerDinnerSeries.com. Get your tickets.
SummerDinnerSeries.com.
That's right. Grab your tickets. Come join the summer with us. We've got a full summer for you of eating delicious Colorado-sourced food. We'll see you soon. Let's see. What's going on? Tomorrow's Friday. Do you mind if we check back in with you tomorrow?
No, absolutely.
We'll check.
I'm here for you every day.
I love it.
Chef,
I'll save a piece of cheesecake for you.
You better, man.
And literally, tiramisu means just a little pick-me-up. So I almost had tiramisu today, but the cheesecake looked really good. So
I know we're using it for our personal venue, but it's kind of weird, I know. But the Pizza Republica actually is its own restaurant and does business every single day of the week. DTC, man, you're doing some really creative stuff. Take a second to talk about movie night.
Movie night starts on the 17th and 18th. So with the Landmark Shops, we're setting up a drive-in movie theater in the top level of the parking lot. So Friday night's going to be date night, and the first one's going to be Hitch, which is hilarious.
Good job.
You can never go wrong.
You got
Will Smith with his face blowing up from allergic reaction and all that kind of fun stuff.
I had another movie suggestion. Do you mind if you take it?
What's your movie suggestion?
I think that Beverly Hills Cop would be just a good, fun movie that people haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
We might be able to put that one in.
I mean, that's not one of Eddie's.
How about Coming to America?
Coming to America.
Now that's a good one.
Now, I mean, 48. What'd you say? 48 hours?
No, the Beverly Hills Cop.
Beverly. All those are kind of just throw. I mean,
no, those are classics. But I would caution for the kids. Now, here's a kid movie that I would still go watch right now. Ghostbusters is a good one.
You cannot go wrong.
When was the last time you saw Herbie?
Then I'd never want
Zero.
to see it.
Oh, come on, man. Those are classic kid movies. Classic kid.
Saturday,
let's hear.
Our kids' night movie is Princess Bride.
That's a good one.
Ah, Jay will be there.
Go wrong with Princess Bride.
Here's the thing. I have a funny story about that. That it's okay for the show. It's just too long. But anyway, you want 10 seconds, Greg? Indulge me. I had a date. I took a first date to film on the rocks at Red Rocks for the Princess Bride. Believe it or not, and this is
this a true story?
Swear to God,
I cannot.
This is like
picture
15 years ago. I had never seen the movie Princess Bride, right? I'd obviously heard about it. I knew the premise, but I took she had never seen it. So we're sitting there watching this movie for the first time, both of us. And it got to the part where the main character guy, when he re-enters the movie with his mask on and everything, and she says, who's this guy now? Who's this guy? And I go, well, what do you mean, who's this guy? Because as the viewer, who she thought it was a different actor from the thing. Like, she didn't put together that he wasn't really dead and that he had come back and has this little tiny mask on, and you're not. And the characters in the movie know it's not supposed to be him because they can't tell, but you as the viewer are supposed to know because you have a brain. And she truly didn't know what was going on.
Maybe she was distracted by just nervous being around you, Jay.
Was it a one and done?
Was
that the only date?
No, but it was a terrible date, and she didn't. And when it's just that's it. But that was the punchline. The punchline is that she didn't know, and then I had to have a conversation with her and say like, no, that's the same guy. Like, you're supposed to know that. She's like, well, no, he died already, so he can't be the same one. And I was like, okay, okay. I just know when to walk away. And I'm like, well, never mind.
Never mind. George, what's the rest of the lineup for movie night?
We're picking them. I put a bunch of stuff out online, and Friday we're going to theme date night. Saturday is going to be themed family night, and we're going to pick them. We have these first two, and then it's interesting trying to get movies to play them in an outside drive-in because you got to cover all the royalty stuff.
Yeah.
So if it's really popular, like Frozen was like $3,800 to show one Frozen for one night. So Princess Bride and Hitch are not nearly that. So, I think it's going to be fun. We can fit about 100, 150 cars up there. We're going to put it out there. Everybody come, 7 o'clock, go to one of the restaurants in the Landmark, eat. 8:15, 8:30, we'll start that. I think I want to get the guys from Rocker Spirits in their truck out there and have some cocktails. I'm getting a popcorn machine so we can have popcorn. And I'm trying to see if we can get some, like, car hop, roller skate kind of girls going on.
Oh, I was going to say Jay and some short shorts would
I was
be
going to volunteer the three of us.
the
man.
huggers.
Yeah, we'll be like the
That would be
50-year-old Beastie Boys in midriffs and roller skates.
Oh,
I'll pay and all you can eat pizza and tiramisu.
Oh, yeah, that will help our beach bodies.
What about that? What about the compound fractures that come from the roller skates?
Right. With our bones that are like chalk.
We have a couple of doctors that live right here in the Landmark Towers.
It's true.
I'm sure we can get them on retainer.
That's right. Let's just. I actually love this as a topic, and if anybody on the stream has a suggestion for George of a good movie, I can't give you any suggestions on family movies. Just nothing. I got nothing for you. Date night movies.
Sure. The Big Lebowski would be great.
Well, but we've got to make sure it's a B movie because he doesn't want to pay the A rates, so it's got to be B.
I mean, Lebowski might be old
Yeah,
now.
Big Lebowski could be good.
Would Fast Times at Ridgemont High be a B or an A movie?
If we can get the PG version, because there's we all remember
couple
the
nudity
scene with,
scenes. Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
that's right. You can't have a big nipple on that screen, can you? Just broadcasting
No,
to the towers.
Getting out of the pool in the red bikini can't happen.
Yeah.
Okay. E.T. is always, that's a family, but that's A. Like
That's a great movie.
But
E.T.
that's
is
a
good.
pricey one, I would imagine.
I mean, who knows, man?
The older ones usually aren't too bad. So E.T. might be right in the wheelhouse.
Please
Who
be.
cried when
I was going to ask
E.T.
the same damn question. I mean, obviously you did because you brought it up. I did
We all
too.
cried. Come on, man up.
I mean, listen, I'll tell you this much, man. I cry at shampoo commercials.
Oh
now.
shit! I cry at the Olympics. Everything. My kids make fun of me. It's just a terrible.
That's menopause.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I cried at ET
Talking-
because I was like 3. You know, I didn't.
You were
really-
3?
I don't know. I was pretty young.
Oh, okay.
I'm not as old as you guys. Remember, your mom chimed in. Did you see that?
Yeah, I know. Gregory came into this world July 11th, 1972. That makes him 48. Yes, that's right, Mom. That's right. 48
I'm
years
so
old.
glad she said that because now I can finally prove that you are younger than me. I thought you were older than me.
Oh, stop it. What are you, 54?
71.
71.
No, seriously, how
I
old
know.
are you, Freeman? Because I don't even know.
49, man.
You're 49?
49.
When do you turn 50?
March
6th.
10th.
10th?
Greg, what are your plans for your birthday weekend? What are you going to do?
You know what? I actually made a phone call before the show, calling the guys over there at Grey Wolf Resort, saying, hey, you got one of those rooms open? And they're like, yeah, far out. Come out and hang out for your birthday. So I might head up to Victor, Colorado.
That'd be spectacular. That's a really cool spot.
Now I just got to get some of my friends to come down and have some dinner or something with me. So I'm not the only person there foraging for mushrooms. Alone.
No, you'd be with Dr. What was his name? Or not Doctor, he was...
no, the foraging guy?
Yeah, what was
Cattail Bob?
Cattail Bob.
You can shear the sheep.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
you
right.
can just come up there for your birthday, be like, can I clean up these animals for you?
Shear it, help it over the fence, whatever you need to do.
God. So I don't know. I might look into that, but again, movie night. I want to go to movie night. I need that. I miss drive-ins too.
I know.
And I think you're going to do that kind of drive-in style on steroids. You know.
Yeah, it's going to be drive-in style for sure.
So pizza's coming out to
Follow
cars.
us on a little social media, and we'll get all the updates out there here in the next day or two.
That's awesome. So pizzas in boxes coming out to cars. You slide them through the window, no contact. Just get it.
Absolutely. We can do cocktails to go. You know, popcorn. And I think it'll be fun because you're socially distanced in your car, and we're going to have a distance between every space. So if you want to get out and pop some lawn chairs and kick back and relax, it'll broadcast onto your FM car stereo, and we're also going to broadcast it through speakers. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a 2.5-story blow-up screen.
Jay, you want to blow up that screen for him? 2.5 stories. How you, Jay? Get on it.
Yeah, I think they've got a pump for that.
They have okay.
Well, and realistically, all the restaurants probably need to update their app to put location as movie night. So people could, because I'd love to dial in right on my app, sit in my car, have you run up a pizza and some beers. Not a bad night.
Wait, is that what you would do? Just call on the telephone into Pizza Republica?
Yeah, call on the telephone or order on Chow Now and tell us what row, what color, and what make of car. We'll walk your food right out to you.
Oh, dude, I am so all over that. That's the Pizza Republica in the Tech Center. They call it Landmark, and boy, that will be your landmark when you're wanting to do movie night. And again, I won't be there on family night, but I'll come freak some people out on date night. Just me and Jay and Brian, 3 of us, guys, date night. Sounds like road trip.
That would be a blast.
Yeah, it sounds like road trip. You want to be part of that?
It's just a good guys movie date night. You can all coach each other.
That's right. We'll go foraging for mushrooms in the car. I don't know what that means, but we'll do it. George, we're delirious, man. We got work to do. I've got some people to call, marketing stuff to do, and we love you so much. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll check back in.
All right, man. Love you guys, too. Have a great afternoon. We'll talk soon.
You got
Thanks for everything, George.
All right, I think we'll call it summerdinnerseries.com. We'll pull the plug now. We'll come back tomorrow. Jay, what do you think?
Sounds good. I would just let people know here at the end of the stream, I've been playing this video of our road trip highlights, just showing you a lot of places where we've been. So I'm going to play, depending on how many people stay on to watch it, I'll play either the full version, which is 25 minutes, or I'll play, 10 minutes. But I think it's a lot of fun for people to see these farms and ranches and distilleries and breweries that we visited on, Colorado Road Trip 2020.
Yeah, baby. I'm rubbing off on him, aren't I?
TME Road Trip Dinner Summer 2020, Greg's birthday, and we'll continue tomorrow. The Modern Eater Show right here. Thank you for Jay Parker and Brian Freeman. I'm Greg Hollenbach. We'll catch you tomorrow. It'll be Friday and a Friday, July 10th. Coming up next, we'll see you down the road. The Modern Eater Show continues.